Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Lisa and this is my stained glass journey where I share the colors of my life with you. So today I want to talk about finances, and I am actually out here sitting on my back porch. It's my happy place. It's when I'm feeling sad or stressed or upset. This is where I go, and I think it's really important for me to kind of do today's video from here because this is a really hard topic to open up about. For me, there's a lot of shame behind it, and I just need to tell my story because I know that I'm not alone. I'm not alone. So, when I graduated from college in 2004, that's about where my financial journey started. I graduated college, so I got a big girl job with a salary of $36,000. I was living with my parents and didn't have any other bills other than the car and gas, but I worked clear across the other side of the city. It took me about an hour and a half to get to work depending on traffic, and that's just one way. So here I was, out of college, with a $36,000 salary, and I decided to buy a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for $26,000, which I just had to have. Had to have. So I graduate, and I will be really honest, I paid no attention to where my money was going. I just would spend and spend and spend and not pay attention. I actually got to the point where I started to become acquainted with credit cards. It was not a good relationship at all. I somehow made the disconnect whenever I was buying things from the store and no money was coming out of my account, that here's this free stuff, here's this stuff. I mean, it wasn't free. It wasn't free, but in my mind, I had the wrong belief that I got to walk out of this store with this thing and that I wanted, and no money came out of my account. And I ended up trying to pursue a master's degree, which I never got, in education, and I charged my classes onto my credit card, and I ran it up super quick. And I kind of hid everything really well because I wasn't paying bills. I was living with my parents. I only had my overpriced Jeep, which I just had to have, and the stuff really hit the fan when I got married. And a few months, this is so hard to talk about. I had my son in September of 2008, and 2 weeks after he was born, I got a call from my boss that the owner of the company had passed away, which I knew. The kids had looked at the bills and they were no longer funding schools to stay open. So I had 2 weeks after my maternity leave to go to what was my job and get my things, pack up, and leave. So I ended up having to scramble. I took a job working hourly for a school district that, again, was on the other side of the city from where we live, and I was drowning in bills. I was drowning in utilities. I was drowning in credit card payments, in car payments, and I just had lived well beyond my means, and the stuff was starting to hit the fan. So I worked hourly, my parents helped me out a lot, and I was in trouble. I would float bills, so I would let bills, if I didn't have the money to pay it, I would pay the bill that was near shut off and then hope that I didn't get any other shut off notices until I got paid next. And I wasn't making very much working hourly, so what was my big girl vehicle became a real curse financially. I struggled with the payments, I struggled with the gas, I struggled with the bills, and that continued on for several years. And I did a decent amount of damage to my marriage. And I ended up causing a lot of hurt. It's really hard to say. I'm not happy about that. That's not who I am. I just felt so lost. So we made it through that, but it was hard because I had to admit that I couldn't afford the bills. It came out that I was floating them. It came out that I had a stash of hidden paperwork that I would kind of span based upon the due dates or when they were going to be shut off. I ended up getting full-time teaching positions, and I would do my best to pay the bills on time. I didn't really budget. I didn't really track my spending. I didn't really do any of that. And I took a job that was, again, an hour and a half away from home, depending on traffic. Struggled once again with gas because putting gas in an SUV is expensive. Perhaps the most shameful moment for me in this parenting journey of mine so far. My kids are 11 and 6, and the toughest moment that really changed me and turned me around was when the power got shut off. Because guess what? I put the bill aside, I put the shut off notice aside, completely forgot about them. Until it was too late. And the power was shut off. And I ran to the bank to deposit some money to make the payment and begged and pleaded that it was a mistake, it won't happen again. And I was told that the power couldn't be turned on until the next day. There's nothing that feels worse than having to go to the dollar store to get a giant, you crack them, the glow sticks, to get a giant glow stick to use as a night light because your kids are afraid of the dark and the power got turned off because you didn't pay the bill. I started tracking my finances, I started tracking my expenses, I started really kind of being smarter with my money, tracking my money, making sure the bills were getting paid. and figuring out, okay, what needs to get taken out of this check and what needs to get taken out of this check. I look forward to showing you my journey to being financially smarter, to saving up for things that I want to get and things I want to do in my life. So I thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, we will see you all. Take care.